Alright.
Whoa.
Yeah, so conformity seems to be the rule the more tightly integrated you are into your traditional synagogue.
Let me just see what's going on over here. You know who's not in the room?
No.
D Medic.
Mm.
Where's
Oh,
the
did
boss?
we get a check this week?
We haven't gotten blip, man. We've got the big bagel this month.
Oh man.
I got nothing for you.
So Torah narrows the realm for sex. You can't have it with animals. You can't have it with family members. You can't have it at the temple with prostitutes. Because this is important because some people, they let sex pervade all of their lives, so that even when they're on a Torah talk show, they start talking about sex. And
It's got no place on this show.
She's got to worship my wanger, or let's talk about black chicks, or I don't like him too fat. This is totally inappropriate conversation for Torah talk. So Torah wants to narrow the realm where sex is appropriate. Basically, essentially it's only within marriage. So if you don't narrow the realm for where sex is appropriate, it will just bleed out to all of your lives, so that when you carry on a Torah talk show, at the most totally inappropriate times, you'll start saying, "Oh, that reminds me of this Korean girl that I used to be with." And that is not the Torah's derech.
No place for it.
There's no place for that in the
Torah talks, not sex advice with
Levi.
No, what is it? Sex talk with Sue.
Yeah, exactly.
You ever watch that?
No.
Okay. You know what it is?
No.
Oh, really?
No. Really.
Oh, it's a show on Oxygen. You ever watch that? I know
No.
that you spend a lot of time on Oxygen Channel. No, it's a show on Oxygen. There was this, I would say, an octogenarian.
I have no need for sex tips. I'm not married.
She's a woman, and she's a,
Is she hot?
She's like your grandmother, okay?
Oh.
She's 80-something years old, and she,
Oh.
every week she gets down, she talks about all these sex toys, and she demonstrates them.
Oh, on herself?
Yeah, well, no, she describes them, and then she reviews them. She tells you which ones are clean and which ones are, and it's very entertaining. And then one day she went over the top and she demonstrated how to perform a blowjob.
Oh. Did she take out her dentures?
Well, the thing about it was, I said, you know what? If this was like a 22-year-old blonde bombshell, this show would be off the air, because the FCC would have went, oh my God, you can't do this.
But it's cable, so the...
Well, the thing was, it was this 85-year-old was grandma showing how to do a blow. I was like, okay, you know what? This doesn't turn anybody on, so whatever. Now you're gonna ask, what was I watching it for?
Yeah.
Purely scientific reasons.
To get a feel of the general population.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oy vey, So one of the curses in this week's Torah portion is that you're paid the bride price, but another man will enjoy her. I love this way that the Torah talks, because that's how it is. You think about your wife as someone you're going to enjoy. It's like spending a lot of money on dinners and entertainments for some hot young woman, only have her go to bed with a guy who paid out nothing to enjoy her. You've been played a soccer, you've just taken her out, and you've taken her to concerts and movies and dinners, and you get nothing but some guy with 4 days growth of beard on his face that pays out nothing, and he totally plunders her through every aperture.
Well, look at you with the words tonight. All right, go ahead. Next thing.
If there's no punishment, people won't take you seriously. People respond to incentives. This week's Torah portion lays out incentives in this world, like the Quran and the New Testament, which lays out punishments in the next world. Jews have long believed that when they suffer, it is their own fault. This is noble and a way to find meaning in suffering. Much of life, maybe most of life, for most people, is suffering. So if you can't find meaning in suffering, then you won't find meaning in life. So the Torah lays out how you find meaning in suffering. It should prompt you to examine your ways, see where you've fallen short from what God wants. And I'm pretty much done.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's the shortest show we've ever done.
It was short, but it was sweet.
Wow. People are going to think, where's the other half of the show? What's going on? Well, how did that happen? That's all right. We've lost half the audience, I think. Here, let's see. Then we can take some questions.
There's nothing there, my friend.
Okay. They're talking amongst themselves. All right. Well,
Okay, sports fans.
that's it. Thank you for tuning in.
If you're not going to send in any money,
This is all you get.
this is all you get.
And maybe next week may just be a 5-minute show. You know what I mean? Maybe like one quick YouTube and we're done. You know what I mean? So like, keep sending the checks. So important, right? The show doesn't come free. Does it come free?
No.
There's costs involved here, right? We have to pay. We have to pay the piper,
Exactly.
right? You know, we have to pay the. We have to.
Okay, kids.
We have to pay the piper. So.